Robert, Hull City with the kickoff was delayed. What has happened to groundsmen around the country, Rob? I mean, they have, 4 jobs? Put the lines on the pitch, corner flags in, cut the grass, and just make the goalposts make sure the goalposts are the right size, right? So can we hear from a groundsman what is going on around the country? Groundsman, have you lost it? Come on, just do your job.
0805 909 693. Right, Mike, you're a Liverpool fan.
Hello, lads. You all right?
All right,
yeah, I've been at the game today. Thanks for having me on and that. So the reason why we've rung in, we're coming away from the grounds and we're hearing some of the stories about Pep getting things thrown at him. I think what I wanted to talk about was a little bit of a level of responsibility of Guardiola, because he proper baited the crowds there. He really did. Don't get me wrong, like, throwing things is bad, but if you poke someone with a stick, then expect a reaction from them. And that's exactly what happened today. He'd absolutely lost the plot. His head had gone. And that's the reason why.
Just got to stop you there, Mike, because your manager, Jurgen Klopp, is with Juliet Ferenton.
Jurgen, that was some afternoon, so intense. It had everything. You got sent off. How would you sum the whole thing up?
Oh, the game was exceptional. The game was absolutely exceptional. 2 outstanding teams faced each other. Both wanted to win desperately. Both fought really hard. Both played football. Both defended on an incredible high level. And in the end, we finished one situation off, and that's why we won it.
And yourself?
Myself? What do you mean? The red card? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it was through the whole game, the situations that happened there. Pep and I were both not happy with a lot of... You should not let it go. You should not let them run. Both sides. You should not. There are no harsh fouls, but too many. And that's how it built up. And then around our goal, I think there were 3 fouls. The goals we conceded. First on Mo, then on Fabinho, and then on Ali. And in the end, now I heard people said it's just because of Anfield. Wow, that's interesting, because if 3 fouls don't get whistled, then we are therefore doing the right decision. Imagine we stand here and talk about it, and talk about, okay, there was a foul but he didn't whistle it, there was a foul but he didn't whistle it, and there's a foul but he didn't whistle it, and it will go. That would have been unlucky. So it was just the right decision. And then, yeah, something snapped in that situation. I'm not proud of that, but and I deserved a red card. And in the end, the way I look in these moments is not right. But I cannot understand how you cannot whistle that situation. I just don't understand. If you watch it back, you think, okay, that's an interesting view that you let the game run in that moment.
I don't annoy anyone, so one very quick one. Huge win.
Absolutely.
Thank you for your time.
Absolutely, Chris.
Was that a pop back at Pep? Sounded like that. The old "this is Anfield." That's what Pep said, and then Jurgen Klopp bringing, that up. I don't get what Pep said there. I mean, it's not like Manchester United in the 90s where, when they didn't have penalties awarded against them for a decade or whatever, and they used to get all the decisions. It hasn't happened. It didn't happen today for Liverpool. But that's interesting that he's bitten back at Pep, isn't it?
Man City fans, 0805 909 693. Sorry, Mike, sorry to return to you, Mike.
It's all right, mate. Don't worry. The gaffer knows what he's talking about there, so that's absolutely fine. I want to agree with Chris Sutton there. Absolutely bang on the money. Pep's head's gone, and that's what I want. That's what part of the reason why I was talking to you about this, because anybody who's watched that game today or watched that Anthony Taylor, who I can't understand because we have an absolute nightmare with him every time. But we didn't get decisions today at all. He had to go to VAR in something that was clear as day to actually make a decision not to give City a goal. And then, you're looking at the reactions of the people there. Yeah, heads have gone. Football, it's a passionate thing, right? But, pointing the fingers straight at Liverpool fans and saying, you did this, that's not right. Pep Guardiola's got to take some responsibility for this today, right? That was the first thing. The second point I wanted to make was about Joe Gomez. I thought Joe Gomez today, Alisson was the man of the match for me, but Joe Gomez was absolutely outstanding today. He's had some stick, that lad, absolutely brilliant. So, fair play to him, 100%, and we deserve that today. And made up, we've turned up and given that manager, given that team, and given the fans a bit of a performance today.
Yeah.
Can you understand Pep's frustration though if there were coins thrown in his direction? The way that may have sort of led into what he said after the game. Should we cut Pep a bit of slack there?
No, because if you're going to turn round and if you're going to start behaving the way that he did, you expect a reaction. There's people sat there who can't have a word to him, who can't speak about that.
Yeah, you don't expect coins thrown at you though. Come on.
Yeah, I know. Don't get me wrong. There's things, but if you're going to behave like that in front of people, expect a reaction. I'm not condoning the reaction, but he's got to take some responsibility for what he did. And if he's turning around and saying this is Anfield, he had every single decision today off that referee. And that referee, Anthony Taylor's from Manchester. So there's another one for you. There's a conspiracy theory from him. His head goes against Liverpool. He cannot cope with it at all.
Mike, thank you.